NFL season over, what better way to celebrate, I guess, than to do a tier list of all of the teams um, based on how they did in the 2025-2026 season. And also, right after this video premieres, I'm going to have a separate video, which is going to be the same tier list, but it's going to be on how much I personally like the teams. Anyways, I'm not trying to waste y'all's time. Let's get straight into it. Alright, first up, the Buffalo Bills. Remember, this is the one on how they did in the 2025-2026 season, which was this season. Alright, so the Bills, I'm gonna put them. Oh, I'm gonna have to go A tier. I think A tier is where I'm putting the Buffalo Bills because they were really good and they almost made it back to the AFC Championship game, but um you know, the Broncos came in and took it away from them in overtime. The Miami Dolphins. See, the Dolphins are my favorite team. They did not do great this season. They went 7-10, which is losing, but I mean it's not terrible. So, um, I'm gonna put them in D. They were all right, but they were not incredible. New England Patriots. They made it to the Super Bowl. Drake May did incredible. The defense and the offense were just incredible. For some reason, a bunch of ads are popping up, but anyways, Patriots are an easy S tier. They did incredible. New York Jets. I mean, there's not much to say here. F. I mean, the Jets, for the first time in NFL history, did not record a single interception by their defense. That is very disappointing. And what was it, like their 16th straight run of not making it to the playoffs? The Baltimore Ravens, who, by the way, have Max Crosby from the Raiders now. Oh man, where do I begin? Okay, so the Ravens. See, they were good. Uh, who am I kidding? No, they weren't. But I mean, they were all right. Cause see, Lamar Jackson was hurt for like half the season. He was hurt for like half the season, so I kind of have to give them. I just kind of gotta be like a little uh biased, I guess you could say, because Lamar Jackson was injured for a lot of it. He got a hamstring injury at the start of the season. So, you know what? I'm going to just keep him right here where I have him currently, C tier, because they were a little bit better than the Dolphins were, but they they were not. Uh, yeah, I'm going to keep them there actually, because they almost made the playoffs. They were very close, but Tyler Loop. Um, you know, if you know, you know. But the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, Joe Burrow was injured for a lot of it. Um, this is gonna be probably a D tier, also with the Dolphins. I mean, just because Joe Burrow was out for like 9 games. See, I actually didn't know what team this is, but I'm pretty sure it's the Cleveland Browns because I did not recognize this logo for a second. But yeah, this is the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns were. I'm gonna say E tier. Tier lists don't usually have an E tier. Sorry, I can't speak, but E tier. So I mean, I guess I'll just put them there. By the way, link in the description to this tier list if you want to do one yourself. Pittsburgh Steelers. See, I'm gonna put them in C tier also because they were good, but I mean they were very close to losing to the Ravens. Houston Texans. They were actually like solid. They were like I'm gonna put them in B tier. Yeah, I'm gonna keep them in B tier because see the thing with the Texans like they were so good because of their defense. Their defense was the reason they made it to the playoffs. I mean, the Texans' defense is probably top 5 defenses in the league. You know, some other notable like defenses would be like the Cleveland Browns defense because of Myles Garrett, the Broncos defense, just to name a couple. The Indianapolis Colts. See, where do I put them on this list? I'm gonna go with the bottom of C because, I mean, if you know, you know. Like, week 9, alright, that's when everything started to turn around. Because, see, the Colts were like S tier. Like, from like week 1 to week 8. Whenever it got to week 9 and beyond that, down here. Because they started this season, I think 8-1 is how they started this season. That's incredible. Jacksonville Jaguars. All right. So the Jaguars just came off one of their best seasons. Probably their best season that they've ever had in franchise history. I'm going to put them in A tier. Because, see, they ended up losing to the Buffalo Bills. All right. The Buffalo Bills, it was a shootout victory because I mean they were just like going at each other, and the Bills inevitably came away with it. So the Titans. I mean, if you know, you know. I mean, F tier. They weren't great. Broncos. They're going in S tier. Here's why. See, the Broncos, they didn't make the Super Bowl because Bo Nix got injured. Bo Nix got injured during one of the last plays of the NFC Championship game. AFC Championship game. He got injured on one of the last plays. He broke a bone. And that was season ending. Hopefully he will be back for the next season. Kansas City Chiefs. Oh boy. Alright, so if this is compared to their other seasons, it would be F tier. Chiefs were literally just okay. The Chiefs are my least favorite. They're my least favorite team. So I'm gonna put them in E. I feel like. Maybe I'll put it in D because I feel like it's a crime to have them below the Cleveland Browns. Maybe I'll just move the Browns there, move Chiefs there. That's better. Alright, the Raiders, yeah, straight in F tier. Cause see, the Raiders, by the way, they just got rid of their only team, Max Crosby. Literally the only player on their team keeping the Raiders at least winning games is Max Crosby. And Brock Bowers, I guess, yeah. Brock Bowers, he's a good player too, but, Brock Bowers is probably the best on the team, actually. But they just got rid of one of their main components of their team, Max Crosby, over to the Ravens now. So, by the way, I'm planning to make a video soon on the top 30 best off-season moves or biggest off-season moves. So that'll be cool. Los Angeles Chargers. All right, so I'm gonna put them in B tier with the Texans because they just, they were good, but they weren't Super Bowl worthy. They made it to the playoffs, so it's the Steelers are probably gonna be the only playoff team in C. It's gonna be B or up for most of the other playoff teams. Because there are 14 playoff teams, and I've currently covered 7 of them. Dallas Cowboys, they were alright. I mean, I'm gonna put them probably the very top of D tier. Or, do I? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. You know what? No, I'm not. C tier. I'm gonna put them in C because They were good. They were actually pretty dang good. By the way, random fun fact, did you know that Dak Prescott's getting paid, I think it's like 70 million a year? I think because I mean, like that's the biggest salary of any NFL player cuz like that's all I know. Like the highest paid quarterback at least is Dak Prescott. Anyways, just C tier. But Giants, I mean F tier cuz like, I mean they're good, but Cam Scatabo went down and the Giants went down. Anyways, Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know what just happened, but I'm gonna put them in A or S tier. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with A tier, just above the Jaguars, not above the Bills. Alright, Washington Commanders. Okay. So the only thing, like, I'm gonna say E tier and not F, only because their entire season was nothing but injuries. I mean, it was insane. There were so many injuries for the Commanders and the 49ers. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased toward the Commanders and put them in E tier. Alright, Chicago Bears. I mean, they just had one of the that was an incredible season. I gotta put them in A tier. I'm gonna put them above the Jags. I'm debating about above the Eagles. I can't do above the Eagles, but the Bears are, they were incredible whenever they got Caleb Williams. I mean, not gonna lie, I watched what was it, the overtime or the one that sent it to overtime against the Rams in one of the playoff games between the Bears and the Rams. Um, there was an incredible fourth down play by Caleb Williams that sent the game to overtime. The Bears ended up losing, but I watched that play live and it was incredible. I mean, it was like just a rundown of what happened. Caleb Williams scrambles back like 30 yards and then he just chucks the ball all the way down to the end zone as he's about to get sacked and the guy catches it. I mean, it was an incredible play that I watched happen live. All right, Detroit Lions. Okay. Man, do I want to rate them a B tier. They're not at that level. They are not at that level. I'm going to put them at a C tier just above the Cowboys. Green Bay Packers, B for Bay. B for Bay. But cuz I mean, good, not good enough. Oh yeah, and by the way, they blew a 21-3 21-3 lead against the Bears. Minnesota Vikings, not much to say about that. I mean, Carson Wentz got injured, but D tier. Mm, I can't. Falcons, see, I'm gonna put them right up here, in fact, because of Bijan Robinson. That's what's holding that team together. That's why they're winning. I mean, Michael Penix, though, he's pretty good, but Bijan Robinson is the man for the Falcons. And that's why they're here. Carolina Panthers, okay, well, they made it to the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. Okay, I lied. Maybe I will have another team that's in C tier. But, that'll probably actually be the last one, though. Well, another playoff team that's gonna be in C tier. New Orleans Saints. See, I'm gonna put them right here because the Saints actually weren't bad, like going toward the end of the season. They beat the Buccaneers once, they beat the Panthers twice, and they almost beat the Falcons to send the Buccaneers to the playoffs. I mean, that was crazy. Buccaneers, they're going in C tier right behind the Panthers because they didn't make the playoffs, but I mean, they're right behind them. Arizona Cardinals, by the way, they just released Kyler Murray. I mean, Murray got injured. I'm gonna have a little biasism, a little bit of lenience. E tier. Los Angeles Rams. Okay. The Rams were incredible. They're going at the very top of A because, they were incredible, like I just said. But, Matt Stafford, he's getting old. He's like 36 or something. Like, I don't know for sure off the top of my head, but he's fairly old. I mean, he is old, and he, like, almost led them to a Super Bowl. He almost led the Rams to a Super Bowl. Okay, I just looked it up, and Matt Stafford is 38. 38. That was more than I thought, but yeah, see, he's almost 40 years old, and he is still almost leading the Rams to a Super Bowl. San Fran 49ers. Okay, so see, normally they would be an S tier right now. Whenever 6 to 41 happened, I'm not too sure anymore. So I'm gonna put them here. Because I don't know about the whole 6 to 41. By the way, my guess before the playoffs started, my guess for the teams that were gonna make it, I thought it was gonna be Jaguars versus 49ers that went to the Super Bowl, and I thought 49ers were gonna take the win. But like I said, 6 to 41 happened, and the team that 6 to 41 them was the Seattle Seahawks, who are obviously going at the very top of S tier because they're the Super Bowl champions. I mean, they absolutely smoked the New England Patriots. So yeah, I mean, not really another place I can put them on this list. So, anyways, here is the entire tier list for how the teams did in the 2025 2026 season. Remember, right after this video goes live, right after this video ends, the next video on how much I like these teams will be premiering. So, and one last thing, the link to this tier list is in the description, so you can make your own tier list. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.